The city loved its sermons, sweet little lies wrapped in scripture, whispered from pulpits to pews. Turn the other cheek, pray for your enemies, pretend the wolves can't smell the blood on your doorstep. Out here, nobility was just another word for suicide. You turned your cheek once, you lost your wallet. Turn it twice, you lost your life. The only thing prayers ever guaranteed was silence after the gunshots. A silence deep enough to bury the names of the dead. Every block had its ghosts, not just the ones in the ground, but the ones still breathing. The kind of people who carried storms inside them, waiting for the right night to break. The neighbors crossed the street, the cops pretended not to see. Everyone prayed someone else would fix it. But prayers don't put out fires. They just watch the house burn quieter. Every neighborhood had its watch. A gathering of tired eyes and shaking hands, whispering about the boy with a dead stare, the kind of stare that promised funerals. They spoke in hushed tones about hope, as if hope could clip the wings of demons. They prayed he'd turn around. But he wasn't turning, he was accelerating. A train without brakes, headed straight for blood. Faith without vigilance is a lullaby hummed, while the wolf circles the crib. Forgiveness without preparation is just a signed death certificate. They told themselves mercy made them better than the monsters. Maybe that was true. But if mercy meant watching your family buried early, then mercy was just another nail in the coffin. We'd been playing too fair with the devil, giving him free rent, praying he'd leave the lease early. But evil doesn't pay debts, it multiplies them. Left unchecked, it metastasizes, it grows teeth, it draws blood. The graffiti wasn't art, it was prophecy, written in red, waiting to come true. The city drank to forget, but it never worked. Every shot poured was another funeral toast. The devil didn't need horns. He wore cheap sneakers and a smile, sitting 2 stools down, planning tomorrow's obituary. And the rest, they stared at their drinks, pretending the fire outside wasn't already at the door. Communities that stood idle ended up standing at gravesites. That was the cruel math. They called it tragedy, but it wasn't tragedy. It was negligence in Sunday clothes. The coffins didn't care what hymn you sang. They only cared about how many bodies they had to stack before the lesson stuck. Preparedness wasn't paranoia, it was insurance. Teaching a man to handle steel responsibly wasn't worshiping violence, it was denying it its monopoly. Hope might guide your prayers, but a loaded chamber was what guided your survival. The difference between a headline and a survivor's story was usually 6 rounds in steady hands. The balance. Faith saves the soul. Forgiveness heals the innocent. But justice saves the living. And justice doesn't ask politely. It speaks in thunder and leaves silence in its wake. Sometimes the only prayer that works is the sound of a hammer cocking back. I've seen too many saints put in the ground with rosaries still clutched in their hands. They died believing kindness would be enough. But the devil doesn't respect kindness. He respects force. Hope was a lullaby. Forgiveness a dream. Action was the only language the devil understood. And I was fluent.